am so sorry that I am so late to this show. I wasn't going to review it this season for 2 reasons. One, it's boring, y'all. It is a snooze fest, and it's so shocking because this was one of the top housewife shows in the entire franchise. But this season is so boring. And the second reason is because I know somebody who worked on the show. And I have a lot of insider tea that made me dislike the show even more. And it's because of this reason. The production, in my opinion, have ruined the show. You know, and it's unfortunate because what has happened is they've become friends with the ladies. And one thing about a reality TV show, you always got to be co-workers. You cannot become friends with the cast because then you won't produce the real story. You'll just give us favorable edits. And that's what's happening here. Nene, because of everything that she's dealing with, she really didn't want to do a lot of filming. And also, because of the issues she's dealing with Greg, they wanted to give her a certain edit. And that's unfortunate because what I know the show to be and what it has become, it's just not worth reviewing. And I'm not the only one. There are so many reviewers. There are podcasters, YouTubers, bloggers who are just done with it. They're saying that this season is so boring, and it's because we're getting favorable edits. The production is friends with these people. They don't want to mess up relationships. So if somebody wants you to cut something out, I specifically know that what Nene doesn't want to go in the show, it doesn't go into the show. And it's like, we made this show, the viewers. We are the ones who keep on coming back. And every time you get our viewership, you get money from commercials who want to play during your show. So we need to be the priority, not the cast. But that's what happens when you've done the show for so long. Lines are no longer crossed. There's just loyalties. And I'm not saying the show needs to be messy. I just think it needs to be honest. And now we're also at the point where the cast has been on so long, they're producing their own storylines. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it's unfortunate because this was the top show. These ladies were funny. These ladies had drama. These ladies had shade. But they always was able to put it together to give us a really great show. I don't even think recasting could save it. Like bringing back old people and, you know, bringing back Phaedra. I don't know if bringing back Phaedra and Kenya will change because now Kenya's a mom. So I don't know if she'll be the messy Kenya. I don't know if Phaedra and Candy could ever coincide in the same show again. I really think, and I hate to say it, I think they just need to do away with this cast. I really do, because there's nothing else they can give us. We've reached the end of this road. And at this point, they've been on so long, they've been with the production so long, they know how to give us a show that they want, but not what we want. They give us a show that makes them look good, but it's not interesting because all you're doing is giving us a commercial with no drama. I need for them, if you're going to give us a commercial, I need you to pull a Bethany Frankel. That woman gives us a commercial of everything that she's doing, all of her products, everything that she's hawking and selling, but she also gives us drama. And this is what this show is missing. So yeah, I'm disappointed in it, but you guys have been asking, and this last episode gave me a little bit of something, so I did want to talk to you about it, but I had to be honest, like it was a struggle. It really was a struggle because this was one of my favorite reality TV shows of all time. To be honest, this show brought me into reality TV. I wasn't, you know, I'm an actress, so we were pretty snobby about reality TV because reality TV became big when the writers went on strike. So you couldn't really hire actors, but you can hire people to work on a semi-scripted show and call it reality TV. So I was kind of snooty about it, but the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I couldn't turn away. The show was hilarious. The drama kept me coming back. The shade, the one-liners. It was just an all-around good show. It ain't that anymore, and I don't know what they could do. I can't believe I'm getting to a point where I'm like, just fire the girls. You know I want a Nene back, but she's not, it's just not good. It's not a good show. And for a lot of people who were dedicated to the show, it was hard to say. Okay, so let's talk about the wrong road. The wrong road. So y'all know I can't stand the Candy Factory. It's so upsetting because I love Candy. I cannot stand her minions. I just cannot. I hate how they all sit there. I'm like, when is work getting done? Because every time the camera comes to the Candy Factory, y'all are having somebody in the cast for tea Normally it's Porsha, and it's just enough. It's enough, but she never has her people sitting and discussing her castmates. But Kandi always has the Kandi Factory discussing Porsha. And I think what it is that Kandi is, you know, she has this image of being like a sweetheart, really nice, really sweet, which is probably why I still like her. And so she doesn't want to be on camera saying these mean things. So she has people on payroll who will say it for her. I know that she really likes how Don Juan works, but I could never have anybody in my community, have anybody on my payroll who is just a dark cloud. Can we be real? He is so negative, specifically to women. And that's another thing that bothers me about him. I have never seen him come at a man, but he is always coming at women, tearing them down, getting in their faces. But you never, ever, in your whole time of being on the show, have confronted a dude like that. Ever. So he's always been a problem for me. But the Kandi Factory, that girl, her best friend, who with the slow talk and shade, like, it's just, I cannot take them. So anyway, we're at the Kandi Factory and they are having Porsha for breakfast. What else is new? So apparently there was an issue where an invited guest of Kandi's was circling Porsha and her boyfriend, and it was the ex-boyfriend, and Porsha didn't like it, so she wanted to see what was going on with the girl, and they got loud, and Porsha got put out, and she felt like Kandi should have called her and said something. Okay, two things. I'm on Kandi's side with Porsha being put out of the party. Here is why. If you are going to make a scene, this is an event for my husband. I don't want to deal with none of that drama. I'm not buying that Kandi didn't know, okay? But I'll take her word for it just within the scene. But, you know, I don't believe it. But however, if Porsha is getting loud and being a distraction, it was the right of security to remove her. I thought it was unprofessional for him to sit there and discuss it. Like, it's just, they're very unprofessional. That is my problem. It's just, and I hate to see such a powerful woman just tarnish her brand, in my opinion, in such just a tacky way. So although I do agree with Porsha being removed, if she was getting to a point where it was a distraction, I got it. Because you're not messing up my man's party. That's just not happening. You're getting put out, period. Even if I invited you, if you can't act, then you get put out. And knowing Porsha, okay, I believe that she got buck, because she don't play with her men or women. I remember that scene. I do agree that Porsha should have got put out, but I'm team Porsha on this one. Here is why. I feel like Kandi, like I said, I feel like she gets her minions to do things that she doesn't want to do or doesn't want to be on camera doing. And I do believe that somebody from her staff, Don Juan or whoever, was circling Porsha with the ex-girlfriend to get a reaction out of Porsha, because Kandi has been known to produce storylines. Some of the storylines we have loved, so I haven't had a problem with it. But that is her track record, so I do believe that that is what was happening. They were circling this girl, trying to get a reaction out of Porsha, and they got the reaction because Porsha is gullible. So that is exactly what happened, and I didn't like it because listen, the girl's pregnant by this dude. They don't know, but she's in a relationship with him. She's trying to make it work. You invited her and your friend to the party to be messy. You wanted to get something out of it, to have something to talk about at the Kandi Factory. Y'all talk about everybody else but work. Like, it's just, it's so unprofessional, and I cannot stand it. Porsha should have got put out, but I'm team Porsha on the side of this argument. And before I move on, Kandi's friend who looks like an evangelist in a bad wig, I don't believe that Porsha was chest bumping people. She's aware that she's pregnant. You know what I mean? It's a miracle child for her and this dude who has wanted a baby for a very long time, because that was a really beautiful scene when she revealed to him that she was pregnant. From what I know is that everybody was shocked when she did it, and everybody, like, in a room when it was filming was crying because it was just such a beautiful moment. He was crying for a really long time. It was a beautiful moment. So I don't think that she would put her child in jeopardy and be chest bumping a girl or whatever, but I do believe that she was probably getting loud and ignorant. So the Kandi Factory is exaggerating, but Porsha did that. Guilty. Even though I'm team Porsha, I think she should have checked her man. You know what I mean? I do believe that he probably texted that girl and was just like, you wildin'. Black men, y'all do that, okay? Like, oh, why you acting like that? No, that's just my friend. We broke up, but I still keep in touch with her. Playing. playing. So she also needs to check him as well, because that was inappropriate. Don't be talking to no other women, texting people, you know, being friendly with your exes in front of my face, especially when we are with child together. And you know that I'm in a place where this girl is my enemy. You know that she has already told me stuff about you and other women. Don't entertain that. But she didn't check him. She should have checked him the same way she checked that girl, and it would have been done with. I specifically did not ask about Cynthia and her storyline because I wanted to be surprised, but instead I was disappointed. Like, what are you doing? She just freshly divorced, and she's trying to get married to a guy who she video conferences half the time in the relationship, who it just now became a relationship. She's talking about moving on with marriage, and he's asking her to be his lady. In their 50s, I was just like, what in the soft hop is going on? Y'all still do that? Will you be my lady and boyfriend and girlfriend in your 50s? Nah. So at first when I watched this scene with Nene, Peter, and Greg, I was like, oh, Nene is being messy. Why in the hell are you meeting with Peter when Cynthia has divorced him? Like, he was the only reason that she was on the show. Why are you still being friendly with him and giving him camera time? First of all, before we go any further, Peter looked great. Nice little black skin. I love a chocolate man. But I digress. I was just like, why is Nene being messy? Like, if her and Cynthia are friends, why would she even like still interact with Peter and give him camera time? Come to find out, Peter hadn't seen Greg for a very long time. And Greg was really sick during filming. So Peter came to see Greg, and they cut this out, and it's so disappointing because when I guess Nene, whoever, opened the door and Peter saw Greg, he was bawling. Like he knew he was sick, but just seeing him, he was they had to like stop and get him together because he was really messed up with seeing his friend like that. So knowing the backstory behind that, I was okay with it, but watching it, I was just like, Nene being messy. But I really didn't realize that Peter was like, I need to see my friend, because at this point they were thinking he was going to pass. So everybody was coming to the house to check up on Greg. What, I didn't want to say it, but Cynthia trying to get married to a dude who she barely has any time with, who, can we be real, looks like Donatello. I was just like, Cynthia. Every season they play you. You were in such a better position when they were just filming you as the friend who keeps the peace. Now, not having that role anymore because there's nobody like causing any drama within the group, your storyline is so sad. It's not interesting. It just makes you look like, and I know she's not, but from the editing, she just looks like a fool, like a bumbling fool. Like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have sex again. You got a full-grown child. We know you'll get it in. Like, oh, he's gonna stay over and put his penis in my vagina. I'm like, girl, what? I can't. You know what? Let's talk about Tanya. The only person I'm excited about on this season. I like her, right? I love her for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She is on the wrong show. She don't fit. She is not this Lord, give me the words. It's 2019. I'm trying to do better. She's not, these ladies are not, they're unequally yoked. Tanya is unequally yoked with this cast. First of all, let's be real. Homegirl ain't flashing like that on the show concerning like her real dollars, but Tanya got Silicon Valley money. Tanya is not rich, guys. She's wealthy, okay? That woman has properties all over the place. This Atlanta house is just a little house where she just kick up just for the show. This is not like her main joint. I feel like she has the wherewithal, the fashions, the grace, and the class to deal with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I feel like she would be the perfect black girl for that show. For all of us who have wanted some kind of diversity on that show, she would be perfect. She is not going to be fighting people and pulling off lace fronts. You know what I mean? And so it's going to look like the women are bullying her because they are just from different neighborhoods. Okay, can we just say that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're just going to leave it there. They're just not in the same space. So I love her for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't like her for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think she is She's just not going to get down and dirty with these ladies. And Nene is going to look like a bully. And y'all know I hate when Nene looks like the bully. I just want her to be like the comedic godmother. I don't want her to be getting nasty and messy. And, you know, it just doesn't look well on her because she goes really far. And Tanya calling her glasses, you know, low when she was doing a high-low thing. I feel like she was just really being honest because to her, that's not a lot of money. The girl is wealthy. Like, they haven't really discussed her a lot this season, but I'm just like, who she is overall would have been great for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I hope she goes there because that cast needs some work too. You know what I mean? But she just don't fit with these women. She really, really doesn't. She's not going to, somebody going to throw a drink at her and she's probably going to run away and cry like she did when, you know, Nene snapped at her about the glasses. They didn't show that, but she broke down because she was really hurt that, you know, Nene came at her because she thought Nene was her friend. But I'm like, this is Nene's paycheck. She going to do what she need to do to get a scene going. So I like Tanya. That is my girl for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Andy, I heard that you watch. Listen. And specifically Beverly Hills. She don't need to be over there with in New York with Bethany because they throw drinks and they throw bowls too. I don't want her in Jersey. Them broads flipping the tables will scare her. She will never come back. I don't even want her in the OC because her fashions and her money is different. You know what I mean? Specifically Beverly Hills. So we get to this ladies' dinner or lunch or whatever at Tanya's place. First of all, the jumpsuit, the fashions, yes. You know what I mean? Like Marlo does it, but Marlo does it looking like a booster. Tanya does it looking like the designer flew these garments to her home, one of her homes. She just looked great. Anyway, so the ladies are meeting. I just having a little, you know, wine and dine. And Porsha's already, you know, talked to the ladies to get people on her side. You know, that's what they do in them groups. When you want to get, you know, your team together, you tell the story to everybody else first so they can already have a formed opinion by the time Kandi come in with her mess. So Porsha's already told everybody, and then she told them that she was pregnant. So everybody, because the woman is with child, everybody's on her side now. You know what I mean? A mom, when a girl is freshly pregnant, she can manipulate some situations within the girl group because everybody's protecting her, making sure her feet don't hit the ground because she's with child. So all the girls at this point are on her side. So Kandi is there, and they're just, the ladies are being very cordial, but they're not Team Kandi. Even when she starts to explain it, Porsha walks in, walks right by Kandi like she's not even there. Now I can shade, but I ain't gonna be rude. I mean, she just breezed past her and sat down and looked at everybody else. Hey, I hug people and I just, poor Kandi. I felt that. And I'm not even Team Kandi in this argument, but I was just like, Porsha, you could have said something. You could have said something. So anyway, they start getting into it. And this is my problem with Kandi. You weren't there. You gotta believe Porsha's version. Even if you feel like she probably escalated the situation, you weren't there. You cannot believe that Evangelist in a bad wig and messy Don Juan. Girl, you gotta use wisdom. Come on. You knew exactly what was happening, which is probably why I believe that Kandi believed Don Juan and everybody else, because I think this is a storyline she produced. I think she was in on that girl going over there, circling Porsha's, her and her man. I know it, ladies, sisters, we know exactly what she was doing. We know when the ex want to get seen, okay? When you with the dude or whatever, you know who the girl is because the girl been looking at you the whole night. She got a little friend saying something. They walking around. Then she act like you not there when she say hi to him. Like, we know what the girl was doing, and you know you going to get a reaction because black women don't play about our men. Period. No, the problem is you don't know how to control yourself. Kandi, right? I'm sorry. I'm looking at Porsha, and though I'm still Team Porsha, but I'm looking at how she's acting with Kandi. And what I have been, the information I was given about this scene was that security had to be called in because it really got heated. And what we saw of that argument was just a speck. It went on for a very long time. And so as I'm watching Porsha having to be pulled away and like sat down and knowing that security had to intervene and hold her back, I'm like, yeah, Porsha, you should have got kicked out. Because if this is how you're acting, even with child, I could only imagine what you was doing to that girl when no cameras was there. So she should have got kicked out, but Kandi was in on this mess. period. So who, City Girls, have you noticed that I was just listening to the album? Anyway, whose team are you on for this fight? Are you team Porsha or are you team Candy? Let me know in the comment section below. And guys, if it's worth it. No, you know what? I'm just going to do it. You asked for it. I'm going to keep on reviewing this show until we get to that 3-part reunion that we know is going to be dry and dusty. Anyway, let me know what you think about this episode and whose team you're on in the comment section below. And I will see you next week for the following episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Love you guys.